That's the first thing I think. I need to make that far.
Okay lang pong magpahinga, okay lang pong ramdamin yung sakit, pero wag na wag niyong bibitawan yung pangarap niyo.
Kung tatanungin kung kaya kong higitan, kailangan kong tanggapin na kaya ko.
Hello, sports fans. This is Quinito, Henson.
And I am Dyan Castillejo. Get ready to uncover the future of Philippine sports.
So let's navigate and break down this game.
And kick it back with our inspiring athletes.
Olympics are just around the corner. And here on Play It Right TV, we want to keep you up to speed on the preparations of our Filipino athletes going to Tokyo.
Wow, stay with us because we have with us our female Olympic boxer, Nesty Petesio. We have our pole vaulter, EJ Obiena. And we also have our four-time Olympic qualifier from weightlifting, Heidelin Diaz. Plus, the president of the Filipino Olympic Committee, Bambol Tolentino.
Unbelievable. That's an all-star cast. And here on Play It Right TV, we cheer for our athletes and we're always here for the sports fans.
This is your one-stop shop for the latest on the greatest in sports. We are here to play it right.
Play it right. Well, today we have the pleasure of chatting with the first Filipino qualifier to the Tokyo Olympics. And he's none other than our pole vault bet, EJ Obiena. EJ, welcome to Play It Right TV. We're so happy to see you, looking so good. I think your vibe is so positive.
So far, so good. You know, the good thing, it's an Olympic training center. People doesn't really go out. All the people here are mostly vying for an Olympic slot, or everybody gets tested before they get in. So the training center is the safest place for me to be in, and I feel okay. You know, in general, Italy is opening up. Restaurants are open, but no restaurants for me. Don't want to take that risk. So
let's talk about the results you've been able to achieve in your competition so far. You've been making it a habit to land a podium finish. You've also reset your personal record. You've jumped 5.85 meters. Tell us what that does in terms of getting you really fired up for the coming Tokyo Olympics.
Doesn't really get me that fired up per se, but it definitely shows me what I can do. I can go toe to toe with these guys, and that's why I'm doing all this competition, to build that feeling of competing with the best of the best. That's why I'm in a meet where Tiago is at. That's why I'm in a meet where Mondo is, or Arman. It's going to be Olympics. It's a different track. It's a different stadium, but it's probably going to be the same people there. So, you know, that's how I kind of see it.
EJ, you've been away so long. Pero before this whole COVID problem happened, what was your plan talaga to train for the Olympics?
Plan was to basically get the most time that I can right after SEA Games. That's why a day after, basically 2 days after, I flew right back in Italy. Didn't really have exact plan of where we're going to do camps during that time, but the plan was to just get the most out of training and be with Vitaly as much as I can, because, you know, he's my coach. He knows the best of the best, and I need to follow whatever direction he thinks is the right for me.
Can you tell us where you're at right now? Because I know you've been through so many things, ups and downs, so many challenges. And how have your parents helped you through this difficult road, even if they're away?
Yes, I was just trying to stay connected with them, but at the same time, I'm not really dwelling on the fact that I haven't been home for more than a year. I don't even count anymore. So, you know, I think that's something that I need to kind of just refrain myself from going that path.
Tell us how Vitaly and Tiago have motivated you.
It was actually Buka when he introduced me to Vitaly. He didn't tell me I'll be training with his former coach. When I knew it was Vitaly, it was just like starstruck, you know, seeing this guy like coach a lot of greats at the greats in my event. It is a guy who takes care of me more than just an athlete. He cares for me as a person. You know, he showed me how to be a better athlete, a better man, a better person. It's very difficult to explain how much he has affected my life. And at the same time, during the time Tiago was training with Vitaly as well, just training with a guy who's been in the top of the game, it shows you how it's done. You see it, and it inspires you. It makes you a better athlete.
EJ, going back to 2017, you suffered a major ACL injury. You know, we've been talking about the sacrifices you've been doing. That had to be a huge sacrifice for you. Tell us about your journey coming back from a serious injury and willing yourself to bounce back.
You know, that ACL injury was I would say that was a pivot point. It showed me how much I love the sport and how much I care for this Olympic dream of mine. It made me focus. It made me realize what's important for me. And that gave me, how do you say, different kind of drive. Going through a major surgery like that, you know, you come back, but you don't come back the same. Knowing that gave me the direction that I needed. That's why I took all the decisions that I've been taking. I knew that if I didn't even give an effort to try and make it to a single Olympics, I would regret it when I cannot do it anymore.
Do you have all your poles with you? You have everything set? And when are you flying to Tokyo?
Yeah, that's the thing. So I actually told Patafa and Sir Popoy, I was actually looking for flights to make sure that my poles are going to get in. And there was a bit of a mishap, I think a miscommunication, because I've asked people in Japan, my fellow pole vaulters, like, hey, how do you guys travel with your poles locally? And they told me, to be honest, we travel by car or we ship it. But there's no local airlines that's willing. And I've researched everything and looked at the flights that would be possible from Tokyo, because Tokyo is their international airport. So I'll be flying from Rome to Tokyo. The problem is from Tokyo to Nagasaki, where Sir Popoy said our training camp would be, which is roughly 1,300 kilometers or something. Mm-hmm. So it's not an easy drive per se. It's at least 15 hours. So just all these logistical things, I was trying to figure it out. And to be honest, there wasn't any flight, I think, that would accept the poles. But I believe they tried to do that. I believe Patafa tried to do that. And then something happened. We ended up driving from Tokyo to Nagasaki. And Vitaly didn't want that for me, because he said flying 12 hours, waiting in Tokyo, and then driving for another 15, it's going to take a while for you to get back from. So we decided to leave Rome on the 22nd, arrive in Tokyo on the 23rd, and then we're going to be staying in hotel. I'm not really exactly sure the name of the hotel, but this is the plan that POC and Patafa has made for us possible. That's the option that we have currently. So we're flying, staying in the hotel. The next day we'll be going to the village, and then on the 25th I would have access on the training facility. So I think that's the option that we kind of figured out that is feasible for me to be able to have a fighting chance come that day that I need to compete. Regarding my poles, it's still with Patafa. To be honest, I'm not that involved anymore because I'm focusing on my competition and my training. It's I left it at them. Hope that everything is going well, because I need it as soon as possible. But I think they're handling it quite okay.
Okay, fast forward, Tokyo Olympics. It's going to be a very, very different environment. No spectators, a lot of safety protocols, very restrictive in terms of your movement. You're going up against the world's best. You've mentioned Mondo. You mentioned Thiago. What's going to be your mindset when you're there, looking at that bar and holding your pole?
I need to make that bar. that's it. I need to make that bar. That's every time. That's the thing. When they set that bar and I'm the one jumping, that's the first thing I think. I need to make that bar. That's it. You know, that bar might be for a medal. That bar might be a record. That might, whatever bar it is, I need to make that. That's it. It needs to stay there after vault, and I need to go over, not under. So, you know, I just need to do that, and that's the same approach I'm gonna do there. Just a little bit more higher stakes, but it's the same thing, you know. Just need to do what I do.
And EJ, in behalf of all of us here sa Play It Right, we're so proud of you. We wish you all the best. We're cheering for you, and we know that everything's gonna work out. And yeah, we're believing with you that we're gonna see you in the podium receiving your medal.
Thank you so much, and I really love the name Play It Right. It means, you know, do it the right way, and I believe in that. That's awesome. It's an awesome title. I love it.
Play It Right would like to thank our sponsor who made this episode possible. ASICS has partnered with the Philippine Olympic Committee to be the official delegation outfitter and footwear of the Philippine delegation to the Tokyo Olympics. Of course, ASICS wants our athletes to look good, feel good, and compete at their best. You too can proudly wear the colors of the Philippine flag with special Olympic-themed merchandise and shoes exclusively available at ASICS stores and online. You can check out the link below for more information.
Hey Dyan, that was some interview. I mean, just to talk to EJ about his journey. It's so tough living alone, being away from family, but he's just so focused. And Dyan, when we asked him the question about his ACL injury,
Yeah.
a 6-month period when he had to think whether he would go on or just quit, I thought that was a big crossroads decision. You know, he decided he'll go for it. He wants that Olympic stint. And I'm just hoping and praying that he will land that podium finish that the whole country wants for EJ Obiena.
Just because of everything that he's been through, the injury, the journey in Europe, you know, all the things he's had to do. I mean, you heard him say about, I mean, how difficult it is just to bring his poles, diba, from one competition to another. Just the fact that, you know, a world-class coach like Vitaly has taken him under his wing. For all his effort, I really hope that he's gonna be on his best on the day that he competes in Tokyo. And he's one of those guys that I really hope will land a medal. And, you know, of course, a gold is gonna be very difficult, but in his sport, I guess everything's possible. And yeah, let's pray that he's on top of his game.